Meet Eric Sneiderman. He's our best shot at making sure banksters pay for the crimes they committed on Wall Street. Crimes that have led to millions of Americans losing their jobs, homes, and livelihoods. Crimes that, so far, have gone unpunished. Earlier this week, Sneiderman, who is New York's Attorney General, was kicked off a panel of state officials from around the country who are working with the Obama administration to come up with a one-time settlement for the banksters to pay up for their crimes. Once that settlement gets paid, then everything else gets swept under the rug. No further lawsuits, no jail time, no nothing. Crime of the century gets forgiven. The number being floated around is a $25 billion fine to be shared by, in other words, pocket change for banksters. But Sneiderman doesn't like the idea, and that's why he was kicked off. As Attorney General in New York, and thus the lead police chief on Wall Street, Sneiderman has the power to bring whatever investigations he wants against, and he plans to do just already launched investigations into Wall Street giants like Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, and Bank of America. And he wants Wall Street held fully accountable for the damage they caused, and not just a slap on the wrist fine. So why is the Obama administration not on Schneiderman's side? And how much longer will the American people put up with the banksters skirting the law? For more on this, I'm joined by Amanda Deveka-Rainier, the Hold Banks Accountable campaign organizer at the National People's Action. Amanda, welcome.
Thank you so much.
In there, is there? Yeah. Tell me a little bit about Eric Sneiderman, first of all.
Well, so Eric Schneiderman's been in the news a lot this week, and that's a great thing, because what we've done and what we've seen is a focus, again, on the fact that homeowners still have not really seen any justice. Right. And so what the conversation's about is this 50-state attorney general settlement. And, you know, there's been a lot of, well, Obama and the other attorney generals, are you on that team or are you on Eric Schneiderman's team? And the team we all need to be on is Team Homeowner. There are hundreds of millions of underwater homeowners in America today.
Doesn't this also extend to things like all the people who lost pension funds? I mean, states got wiped out, countries got wiped out.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if we look at the overall damage that these big banks and Wall Street have done to our economy,
it's trillions.
It's trillions of trillions. So they got $14 trillion in bailouts and backstops. And I would argue that we, everyday Americans, have not seen any help for our homes, for our jobs, for our state and city revenue crises.
Right.
And we've got an opportunity here to deal with a housing crisis, and we need to take it.
Did you see the movie Client Number 9?
I didn't.
Oh, let me strongly recommend it.
Okay.
It is not about the salacious, I mean, it's got that, you know, it's about Elliot Spitzer. But basically the storyline of it is he angered a billionaire who goes on camera and brags about it. The billionaire hired Roger Stone. They got some illegal stuff done. People inside the government releasing information that they weren't supposed to release, and they were thus able to figure out that Spitzer was seeing hookers. And then they turned that into a major, very expensive PR campaign and brought him down. And then they both bragged in the movie about how, you know, we took down this guy that was trying to take us down. So here now we've got Schneiderman doing the same thing Spitzer was doing, or it seems, you know, trying to take on the billionaires on Wall Street. Assuming that he doesn't have hookers in his background, does he have other things to worry about? I mean,
Well, he's raising a really critical question about this Attorney General settlement. And now none of us have seen the settlement yet. But if you were to pass me a piece of paper and ask me to write it, what I would write is a strong settlement that's going to benefit homeowners in all 50 states. And there's critical components of that. First, we've got to have principal write-down for homeowners. We have to. Second, we need restitution for homeowners whose homes were illegally foreclosed on. We're talking about robo-signing, right? Where it was not even clear that banks held the mortgages when they foreclosed on people's homes.
This was fraud.
It's fraud. And I believe if I came to your house and I was not the owner of your house and I removed you from your house and I took that house over, that would be stealing your house and I would go to jail.
Sure.
That's criminal behavior, and we need criminal prosecution.
Why is the Obama administration not on Mr. Schneiderman's side?
You know, I think what we really need to talk about here is
First of all, do we know that for a fact?
We haven't even seen a settlement yet.
Right.
But what Eric Schneiderman is raising, Attorney General Schneiderman is raising, and he's in a critical position to do it, is this question of, do banks get a free pass? And should real thorough investigations continue? So what we know of the Attorney General investigation so far is that it's focusing on foreclosure fraud and it's focusing on robo-signing. Right. Do we need relief for homeowners? Is that, in a way, what is going to be critical to getting our economy started again? Right. We just released a report with a shocking number here, and that shocking number is $71 billion a year, and that is what would get put back in the economy instead of in the pocketbooks of banksters if the underwater mortgages of all underwater homeowners in this country were reduced to market value.
Wow.
Yeah. So New Bottom Line released this report, a win-win solution, and that says, so for example, say I had a house that was valued at $500,000, and I took out a mortgage for $400,000, right? And then the economy crashed, right? The banksters crashed the economy through their illegal activities.
Instead of making the banksters whole, what if we made the people whole?
What if we made the people whole? And so now my house is worth $300,000, and I still owe almost $400,000. So I have to put more money back in the pockets of those same banks that brought my house value down in the first place. So if we were to do that, we could create, we think, over 1 million jobs, because that money would be flowing back into the economy.
Sure. And it would move things along. Is there any, these banksters who got $14 trillion from us and took literally billions of dollars in paychecks home?
Yes. Yes.
In the half a minute or so we have left here, is there any chance that we can claw back any of that money
that those folks have done? Well,
yeah.
I mean, I think it's going to take a lot of street heat. We've got to get out there. Homeowners have to get out there. Tenants, unemployed workers. We're going to need to hit the streets. And there's a series of actions that are planned in October this fall. People can find out more about that by visiting thenewbottomline.com. But the next opportunity actually is this Attorney General settlement, and we do have to consider what Eric Schneiderman is raising and not give banks a free pass on all of what needs to be investigated.
Right. So people could contact their state attorney general's office and say, please support Eric Schneiderman.
Please support a real settlement.
And the website is?
Newbottomline.
Newbottomline.com. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Great to meet you.